segment you're about to see is a impact therapy approach to counseling using the theory transactional analysis. And impact therapy is an approach to counseling that is active, multisensory, and theory driven. And there's a number of theories that we show that we use in impact therapy. Transactional analysis is one of them. We hope that you enjoyed this segment, and then there's plenty of other segments to watch showing the use of theories and the use of creative techniques, and even the use of group impact therapy and group counseling. The website, if you want more information, is impacttherapy.com. How can I help, or what brings you to see me?
I am having some, I guess, trouble. My relationship with my daughter.
How old is your daughter?
She's 13. She
Okay.
just turned 13, and she's acting like a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
She's a good kid. I mean, she's a good student, and we're close. We are close. But we've just been arguing a lot. Not even like, the eye rolling and the kind of like, you don't know anything, mom stuff. I kind of deal with that okay. But, her room is when I tell you a mess, clothes, food, and she's got a kitten. There's, I walk in the
She's
other
got a
day,
what?
A kitten, and there's, plates and soda cans and a live animal. It's, this is not how we live,
Yeah.
And I try to just, I don't want to go in there, you know what I mean? Because I get so mad. And when I was a kid, my dad yelled at me a lot, and I don't want to yell at her. I don't want to do that. But so I gotta get the laundry, or I don't want to leave the plates and stuff in there because I'm afraid we're gonna get bugs.
So is the issue mostly in regards to the room?
Her room, just leaving messes around, leaving her stuff around, not cleaning up after herself.
So in the common areas too.
In the common areas.
Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I even say to parents, just let them destroy the room. Yeah. But if they do it out in everywhere,
right,
then it's really a mess. Does she do it in the kitchen, in the living room?
That's better, because I think she'll say now, like, mom's gonna go psycho, and like I have a 7-year-old too, and the two of them be like, Mom, my 7-year-old says, mom's gonna blow. Like, I just start getting, like, oh look, there's shoes on the steps. Oh look, plates. Oh look, soda cans. Like, I just ratchet up and up and up and up and up, and like I'm walking around the house, and like every toy or whatever I'm finding, I just am getting. I'm like a crazy person, and
So you would like to not be a crazy person.
That would be good. Can you fix that?
Maybe I can at least give you some insight into what's happening.
Okay.
So it starts with her, I want to say something, her doing something. Right. Usually in the around the house, or, okay.
And then I get angry, and then I ramp up, like, she's like 12, she just turned 13, like, the hygiene's getting better, but they don't have great hygiene, so then I feel like I'm getting personal, because I'm like, this isn't clean, wash your face, like, and then I'm like, I feel like I'm crossing the line.
Let me try to explain.
And
I'm going to show you something.
Like, I'm losing it, and
Right.
I feel like my dad takes over my body, and I don't want that to happen.
What do you mean by your dad takes over your body?
My dad, he was a good guy, but he yelled a lot.
Okay.
And I'm like acting like him, and I don't want to. My mom will be like, oh, hey, Rich is here. That's what my dad's name is. Everybody kind of laughs about it because it is crazy, and then I feel bad. So then I'm like, I'm sorry.
Let me show you
I
something.
yell at you.
This is a model in counseling. It's called transactional analysis.
Okay.
They talk about parent, adult, and child.
Okay.
Each person has 3 parts.
Mm-hmm.
As I listen to you, I'm thinking, which part is Tori coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Which part, what's your daughter's name?
Delaney.
Delaney. Which part is she coming from? And it seems to me that you come a lot from this part, the critical parent part.
I mean,
Would
is
you
that
say?
like the yelling and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, lately, yeah, I didn't used to. I mean, lately, I just feel like.
What do you mean you didn't used to?
Well, I mean, when they were littler,
You understood.
they
You want her,
understood more,
okay.
to be more responsible. Or,
But it seems to me you send a lot of messages going like this.
so that's me being critical.
Yeah.
And then this is her.
Tori, Delaney.
Okay. So I'm critical, and she's a child.
What does she do when she does it?
Sometimes she ignores me, or it like gives me some kind of like snotty response. Sometimes she yells back. Sometimes she gets upset.
Okay, and because let me show you what would happen if it was adult to adult.
Okay.
That and even though I mean, don't get these. She got these parts in her. This is the adult or thinking part. If you said, Delaney, how about picking up the clothes or your shoes, and why not straighten up the mess you made in the kitchen? You send a message. She says, "Okay, Mom, sorry." That's adult to adult.
Great if she said that.
That's you being calm,
Yeah.
her being. Do you understand? That would be
happens
this.
sometimes, yeah.
Okay. That's but knowing this model can help you because you absolutely are in charge of which ego state. These are called ego states. Which ego state you're in.
Okay. Sometimes I'll say to her like, "Hey, clear a road to your bed so I can kiss you goodnight," and we kind of laugh, and it's okay, and I'm not mad about it.
Okay.
That's like adult.
Yeah.
Okay.
The key is your voice.
Okay.
Because you could go in there to kiss her goodnight and say, "Oh my God, what a mess." I remember I had a woman that I trained in this. She said she got up, went to her daughter's room, ready to be very loving,
Mm-hmm.
and then she saw the mess and she just blew up and lost it.
Yeah, I mean that happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can just ignore
And
it.
so, but I want you to understand, you're in charge of which ego state, and I'm going to try to help you get out of the critical parent, being the adult.
Okay.
Because what can happen is then she can get mad
Right.
and start yelling at you,
Yeah.
and then you get hurt and
Right.
mad, and look at this thing.
It's like infinity.
That's what they say. It's an infinity, and it's a cycle.
Yeah, because sometimes I yell and then she says hurtful things, and then there's part of me that knows I'm being crazy, but then it hurts too that she's saying that.
Tell me what you're understanding and how this model may help you.
When I am that P part, that critical part, that it makes her react kind of like a little kid.
Right.
And then, just like a little kid, she says things that are mean.
Yeah.
And then,
If I was going to, I could get you to stand on the chair, because you're up on the chair, and then she feels little.
yeah.
Go ahead. And then what happens?
Well, then I feel like sometimes she gets up on the chair because she.
That's exactly right. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
So how can we get you to walk in that room and try and not blow up?
I mean, that's why I'm here.
Is your daughter, on a 1 to 10 scale, who lives in your house?
My husband, myself, my daughter, my son, and a lot of animals.
Okay. Let me just.
Cats and dogs and.
Okay. I don't think we'll use them right
Okay.
now. Tori, husband,
His name's Chris.
Chris.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Mm-hmm.
Delaney,
Crosby is my son.
Crosby.
Mhm.
Okay. On a 1 to 10, on level of neatness, who's the neatest?
Me.
What
10.
number? Okay, you are a neat freak, sort of.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
Oh, this might be the problem too. Chris, how neat is he?
Um,
Maybe the fear of your.
he's like an 8.
Okay,
Yeah.
but he's a pretty neat guy.
He's helpful. Yeah, he's not.
Okay.
He does a lot.
Crosby, how
Oh, for God's sake.
do you yell at him too?
Well, he's little and.
So but he
Excuse
okay.
me.
How level? What's his level of neatness?
I mean, he doesn't pick up after himself at all.
Okay.
I mean, no, he's a 3. I don't know.
Okay. Delaney.
She's probably a 3 too, because I'm like I'm cleaning up his room every day. I'm going in and doing a sweep, and I don't do that for her anymore. So it's like shoveling while it's snowing. I'm clearing the walk in his room. Where I go in her room, it's like there's a blizzard, and I'm not even in there, and then it's so bad.
So if you and Chris lived together without kids,
it was a nice house.
huh?
We did.
We did.
It was a nice
Okay.
house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It was nice.
Yeah. And now you added 3s. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, maybe she's a 4. Sometimes she'll say, like twice a week, she'll say, "Mom, I'm gonna clean my room," and then I go in, and I'm not kidding you, like there's stuff everywhere, but she'll have a drawer or like some, and it's immaculate, and I'm just like, baby, I can't get to the bed. That drawer looks great, but so I mean, I think she's trying. She's just not real good at getting organized yet.
Let me explain the difference between the parent and the adult.
Okay.
The parent has a lot of shoulds.
She should keep her room clean. She shouldn't have glasses in her room. She should
Okay.
pick up her clothes.
You
and put them in
understand
the
that.
laundry.
Shoulds.
They do have a lot of shoulds. Uh-huh.
The adult, hear this line. I teach this to people, and some people say it's the best thing I ever taught.
Please.
Get your expectations in line with reality. The adult doesn't have shoulds. The adult says Delaney's a 3, Crosby's a 3.
At being clean.
Yeah, being neat.
Okay.
So when you walk in that room, see, you walk in the parent state, this stuff should be picked up.
Right. Right.
You
should
walk
look
into
like
the
I do
adult.
it, yeah.
Delaney is not very neat. It's my job as a parent to keep trying to help her. But she's also 13, and I don't know. Were you pretty neat when you were 13
No,
even?
God, no.
Oh, you weren't? Tell
My
me
parents
about.
had to rip up the carpeting in my room.
Is this the truth?
Yes. Yeah.
Because.
I was a slob. So, and
Have you
some
told
days
the
I have. My mother's totally outed me.
Okay.
Some days I can approach it from that, like I was a mess too. And that's why I closed the door.
Okay. So when is it? See, but I think you believe Delaney is making you upset. Or Delaney's behavior, Delaney's room.
I mean, yeah, I believe you when you say I'm responsible for this. I don't have to yell. That's why I'm here. I don't want to yell. I don't want to be like my dad was with me. I hated that.
I taught this woman, Gladys, about her teenage son who was 18. But she would come home and yell at her son every day. She said, I got to quit it. I said, Gladys, I'm going to help you. And we went through this. On a 1 to 10, what would you give your son as how he's doing right now? He's a 3. I mean, I said a 10 would be he's in college, he's going into the military, he's got a full-time job.
Right.
3 is he sits around and watches TV and eats
Right.
potato chips and doesn't
That's
clean
what
up.
he was doing.
Yeah. And I said, your son is a 10 at being a 3.
Yeah.
And then if you can remember that, and I did see her at a mall 2 years later, and she told me how that helped her. If you go into Delaney's room expecting her to be a 3, and then just say, stop it, Tori.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, those are the shoulds. You don't have to be in the critical, because you say sometimes you can walk in the room and it doesn't bother her, even though it bother you, but it's a mess.
Oh yeah, I mean, but I'm almost like la 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 la, like don't like focus on the because my husband said to me, you go in there and yell and then she
Oh,
yells, and
yeah.
she cries, you cry, and the room is still a mess. Like it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like
What
he's
does your husband do?
I mean,
Or it doesn't bother him?
I mean, he'll say, "Lane, pick up your room," and like if I say that too generally, she will. It's never gonna look like
It's your tone
my
of
room.
voice, some?
Oh yeah.
When you're in that yelling,
Yeah.
critical parent mode, does that work?
No, God
Does
no.
it cause tension?
I think she throws more
Does
stuff
it
on the
cause
floor when I do
tension in the
that.
house?
Yes.
Does it upset your husband?
Yeah, it upsets me because
Okay.
I mean, I was that kid. My dad just would yell at me a lot, and I hated it, and I didn't like him very much. So I don't when it happens, then I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed of myself.
How am I helping, or am I helping?
I mean, it's helpful to know that I'm in charge of it. It's helpful to know that I'm doing that to her. That's very meaningful to me, to think of me being up here and her being down there.
And your dad did that.
And that my dad,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I can remember
It-
that
the-
feeling.
I sometimes like to give sound bites. Get off the chair.
Yeah.
Just try to hear me saying, get off the chair. Because it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. That's why my husband said, like, she's a good kid. Who cares if her room's a mess? Like,
Yeah.
you know.
That's that's exactly right. The common area, I think you legitimately can say, Delaney, you got to keep, put the lid, put the peanut butter away, put the stuff
Peanut
away.
butter's never
Yeah,
closed.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What do you think?
I think you're right that get off the chair is helpful, but it doesn't work. I mean, just that, like, I think of myself as efficient. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, and then I feel bad. I mean, I go there.
Right.
Then she's upset, then she says something, then I'm upset, then I'm apologizing. I'm like kind of like chasing her around the house, like, I'm really sorry I yelled
Yeah, I'm
at
going to show you.
but
Yeah, I'm going to
I'm
show
not-
you what else is going on. But you got this image, sort of.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to look at it
Okay.
anymore.
Yeah. I'm going to show you this drama. Yeah, there's a lot of drama around this.
Yeah,
Right.
and I think she's just kind of like,
Well, I'm going to show you what I think will help you see. This is within this same theory, transactional analysis. They talk about the drama triangle. They've even written a book about. There's books about it and stuff. Persecutor, rescuer, victim.
okay,
When you go in the room
I'm the persecutor,
and she's the
victim.
victim, and y'all do this, and what makes it dramatic is because they're switching. So you're persecutor, she's the victim, then she might switch to persecutor, you're the victim, then maybe you, probably because you're older and you got more clout in a sense. I mean, she can say hurtful things, but you can ground her, you can do all kinds of stuff. And then she feels like the victim, then you said you feel bad, then you go rescue. I don't know
I
about.
try to, but then she's like, Mom, you always say that you're sorry and you don't want to act like that, but then you still act like that. And she's right. I mean,
Or this one is one, people go and buy them new tennis shoes, take them to the mall, because sometimes you act real badly,
I don't.
where you yell, she cries or
Yeah.
stuff, and say,
Yeah,
call
I don't really
names.
buy her stuff. I don't call names, but I probably hurt her feelings because I'll say your room is messy. You're not taking care of your hair. You're not, you're not as tidy as you should be in general.
But here, y'all know how to do this. You do this drama triangle,
Right.
and the only way to get out of it is somebody. And let's say, since I'm talking to you, exit and go to their adult. Because you're not in your adult when you're doing this drama.
But how do I do that? How do I get to my adult?
Well, what is your goal? Is your goal to have a neat room or a good relationship with your daughter?
Good relationship with my daughter. I
Remember.
don't want my daughter to think of me the way I
Remember
love my
that,
dad.
okay?
Yeah.
So yelling does that move you towards your goal or away from your goal?
Away. I mean,
Okay.
She gets really mad and shuts down, kind of. sentence right there. Do you want to have a clean room? It's not even my room. Like
Okay.
a clean room.
And
or a
again,
good
we're talking about that room,
relationship.
especially out in the common area. That's a slightly different thing. So, the other thing is whenever you feel like you're doing the drama triangle, and remember that's called the drama triangle, whenever you're doing it, that's when you want to pull out and say, wait a minute, I'm doing something wrong because we're doing it. And that's when you sometimes say, I'm sorry. But the most important thing is when we going back to that first thing or this deal, expectations in line with reality.
Right.
Her room's going to be a 3.
Right.
What's more important is a relationship with your daughter. And I'll tell you the line that stood out to me. I don't want her to feel towards me like I felt towards my dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really important.
I just want to stay in that part. Like I can feel it. Like now that you show me this, it's like I can feel it in my body. And like I'll say to my husband, you talk about it like it's like a tidal wave of like I feel like my dad takes over. That's why I say my dad's
Yeah.
taking over. It's that critical. Like I'm losing my adult almost to that critical part takes over, anger, whatever. I just want to hold on and want to stay there.
Yeah, that's good. When you grab the chair, that's right. Sometimes I do this, if this would help any.
Oh, like this is my adult chair.
Yeah, let me see if I got this. I get people to use a bungee cord.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Like I want to. That's true. I want to like hold myself.
Well,
in.
if you can
Yeah.
think about it, that's good.
Because then I can't get up and be on
Yeah.
the chair. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Just bungee cord.
Like just
And,
thinking.
and
feeling
expectations in line with reality. That Delaney is a lot like me. You turned out okay.
Yeah.
If you went from a 2 to a 10 as far as neatness,
Right.
how did that happen?
I mean, I got my own place. I didn't want it to be a mess.
Yeah, and you grew up and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
part of the brain developed.
I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, I can hang up my towel and not throw it on the floor.
Yeah. yeah, wet towels on the floor. But
Right.
when you were a kid,
Right. I didn't care. It wasn't my floor.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. No.
go ahead. Tell me how I'm helping. Then we'll wind down.
This is really helpful because I just can feel it, like keep trying to when that happens, I think I can feel that like you have to stay in that chair, you have to stay in that chair, or just get out. Like like maybe I don't have to kiss her goodnight. Maybe I can kiss her goodnight before she goes in her room. Like I don't even need to go in that room.
That's a good idea.
Put the laundry outside, like
Yeah. Do you have to get the laundry, or she won't do it? Or she forgets to look under the bed and
I mean, I think like a natural consequence would be she doesn't have clean clothes, and that my husband says that like, well, like eventually she'll have to bring that stuff out because she wants it clean, and I go look for it under the bed,
and then you get
pick up the
agitated.
kitten. Yeah, and then there's like a turkey dinner under the bed, and I'm like, yeah. So this is real helpful, and maybe I just won't go in there, and.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, it's sort of like a hazard zone, or
Right.
be careful.
Right.
Yeah, you going in that room without you being in your adult. You can go in there if you're in your adult, because no matter what you see, it's going to be okay. Because what's more important, a clean room, or a good relationship with your daughter?
A relationship.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, summarize what you're taking away, and then we'll stop.
Just staying my adult. This is very powerful. The relationship is more important than the room. The yelling doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yelling doesn't work.
And it comes from shoulds.
Shoulds.
Delaney should, and the
Right.
truth is, what's the truth?
She doesn't.
Delaney's messy.
She's messy. She is super messy. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I don't want her to think of me like I thought of my dad. Like now that I'm a parent, my dad used to always say nothing could ever be nice, and now I say that because they like
Oh my
ruin
goodness,
stuff,
God.
And now I'm like I get it, and my dad's not alive anymore. I wish I could tell him, because I get it. You work hard, and then kids ruin stuff, but they're kids. Like
Yeah.
when I'm in this chair, I'm like they're kids. They're not ruining
Yeah.
stuff on purpose.
Yeah.
But when I get on the chair, it's just like that goes away.
Yeah, and then this way you enjoy your kids, you know, and I think you do worry that, oh my God, they're going to turn out, they're going to be the messiest person in the world. If I knew I had some crystal ball or something, and I told you they're going to turn out, Delaney is going to be neat like you are when she grows up.
I think I would believe you. I mean, she's responsible in a lot of ways.
So then what? Why do you?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a habit.
Yeah.
It
It's those shoulds.
let me say this to you, one last thing, just to get this in your head, sort of. Think. Yeah, that
This is
fits.
thinking, yeah.
The adult thinks. That parent part, remember the circles?
Mm-hmm.
That parent part doesn't think. It's programmed. Where did you get your program?
My dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your adult thinks through what's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead.
Well, my dad came from like domestic violence and stuff, so yelling was so much better than what was done to him, and so I feel this sense of like I need to. So he did better, and I can do even better. Like I don't even have to yell because you know what I mean. Like
Yeah, if you think
can do
about this,
better. Yeah.
you want to think. If you think, you probably will figure out ways of helping your daughter, even going in and saying, "Hey, I'll go in and help work with you," or something. But just remember, the adult thinks. The critical parent has lines. It's not. There's no thinking going on. It's more tapes in your head.
Right. Shoulds. Like this room should
It's just
be
tapes in
clean.
your
You
head.
should take
Tapes
care of
coming
that.
either from you, your dad, somewhere.
Yeah. Nothing can ever be nice.
Is that what he used
Yeah.
to say? Wow.
Yeah. Well, he didn't
Okay.
say it so much as scream it.
Why don't you do this? If this helps, I don't know that it'll be perfect. My goal is to reduce. If this is how much yelling you do with Delaney, I mean, ideally we'd get it down to almost zero.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'd like.
But let's see if we bring it down maybe 50%, or we'll see how much, and you come back next week,
Okay.
and we'll see. But you'll
Just
use
if I can
these
stay
tools.
in this chair. I'm just.
Yeah, if you want to take the bungee cord, if it'll help you, I don't
I
care.
think we have one.
Okay, yeah, just get it out and put it
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Hanging
I'll
on
just stay in
hanging on the doorknob.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean,
Just.
and
stay
when
in
she
the
says,
door.
"What's it for?" just say, just a little reminder.
It's a
from me."
counseling thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Okay,
good.
and I'll
Yeah.
see you next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. So, this session with Ed using TA was very powerful for me. Things that really stood out, the drama triangle for sure, the feeling of the bungee cord, and just knowing that I'm in control. I can keep myself and my adult. That was very powerful. That I can control this, and it's the conflict exists in me, not in my daughter or in her room. Or that was really helpful.
I started not to do the bungee cord, and I'm glad I did. It probably would have been powerful for you to stand on the chair, but I mean, and so I would say to people, getting that showing the difference between standing on the chair and sitting in the chair, that's a very powerful tool. This is all an impact therapy approach, which is it's an active, creative, multisensory, theory-driven approach to counseling. And the theory that I was using was transactional analysis. And yeah, I think what you try to do, I think what counselors don't do enough of is give models and give like tools. The brain likes novelty. I think she might remember the stuff that was drawn or the stuff that you saw or felt.
I did for sure.
And so I think it was a good example.
Yeah, I agree.